Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. I hope you're keeping well. So in today's video, I've been asked a question by one of my viewers about a recent topic that I have seen all over the place and the person has also seen, and it's about the fact that UK or NHS to stop recruiting nurses from overseas, or UK government's plan to stop relying on overseas nurses. You might be out of the UK, or you might be a foreign trained nurse, and you might be considering relocating to the UK, and you're worried about what you are hearing. And so if you are worried and you're not too sure and you want to know more about whether they're going to be stopping recruitment of nurses into the UK, you need to take your time and watch this video to the end. So you're welcome back to the main video. So if this is the first time you've come across my channel, you're welcome. Remember to like, subscribe and share as well. So basically the UK healthcare system, or NHS as well, have been relying on overseas or foreign trained nurses since 1998. So that's about 25 years ago. I have been here over 20 years now. So occasionally what happens is they pause recruitment from overseas and then they start all over again. And recently, over the past 3 or so years, there have actually been an increase in the recruitment of foreign trained nurses into the UK. And as you may remember, the NHS celebrated the 75 years of its existence in July, I think on the 5th of July this year, 2023. And the UK government put out their own, or they laid out their new NHS Workforce Plan. Bear in mind, each government, when they come into office, they promise to cut down immigration and other things, and they've realized a lot of nurses have come in, or healthcare workers are coming, because of what they can offer to the UK. Now, they have also put out or laid out this workforce plan to address some of these issues, and in order to actually reduce their reliance on agency as well as overseas or foreign trained healthcare workers. So it's a big document. You can just Google the new NHS Workforce Plan and you see all the information out there. So one of the reasons, as I previously said, is to reduce agency and overseas trained staff coming into the country. So how are they going to address this issue? One way is by training more staff. So they want to increase the training places of about 24,000 nurses and midwifery places in a year. And also they want to put measures in place in order to retain staff who are already working in the NHS, and also to reform the way staff work within the NHS. Recently, according to a report by the NMC, the number of professionals who joined the NMC register in 2022 to 2023 is about 52,148 professionals. They have joined the NMC register between 2022 and 2023. And then the new joiners, there's a breakdown. This includes either nurse associates, nurses, and midwives. And of those, 25,006 professionals were from foreign or internationally trained or internationally educated nurses. And about 27,142 are UK trained. So almost half of that number, which is 52,000 and over, almost half of it are foreign trained professionals who have joined the UK NMC register. In the same period, actually, professionals who are leaving the profession has actually reduced slightly, but to about 27,000. So 27,000 have left the register in that year. So that's quite a lot. Anyway, so the answer to your question, whether the NHS or the UK will stop recruitment of nurses from overseas in the near future, I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe another 10 years or so, I don't know. Because they've been recruiting since 1998 anyway. They always say we will stop and they never stop because they need staff. The population is growing. Most of us are growing. We will need someone to care for us one day. And there's a lot of shortage on the ward. So there's going to still be. So now, let's see. I've got a lot of things to say, so you need to wait and watch to the end. So the reason I said they are not going to stop relying completely on recruitment from overseas, which is what they've said, they are not going to stop it. They want to try as much as possible to reduce it. But even that, there are certain things to be aware of, whether they would be able to achieve that or not. The reasons I say that is because recently, according to UCAS data, so UCAS is University and Colleges Admission Service in the UK. They published a data recently and they're saying that the number of applications to UK nurse degrees has actually dropped by 16% in 2023. In favor of courses like computing and engineering. So some of the aspirant students from A-levels and colleges who would have liked to do nursing are actually preferring to apply and do courses like engineering or computing. And according to a report by the Nursing Standard in 2020, about 25% of nursing students in the UK actually leave the course or they drop out of the course. So I decided to look further into this and I saw a blog by one of the student nurses who said when they started, there were about 105 students on the course. 6 months later, their number had dropped to 80 students, which means about 25 students have dropped out of the course, which means in 6 months they were left with 80. Who knows what happens when they get to 1 year or the second year, or how many of them would end up finishing on that course. And some of the reasons that the student nurses gave for leaving the course, majority are financial, especially with the increase in cost of living. Some people find it difficult to cope with the placement commitment because you do placements, you go to uni. So, some have had health concerns. Some of them during the COVID were worried about catching COVID and some decided, I'm not going ahead. Some of them stopped or dropped out because of the demand of the course. They feel the nursing course is quite demanding. Some people said there is no flexibility. Some people felt the salary after graduation is not great and they have to pay their student loans. Some of them actually found the training physically and emotionally draining. And some were actually not prepared for what they were going to meet in the nursing training before they started. And they later on decide, this is not for me. So they moved on. Some reasons are not enough money to support themselves without having to work part-time. Some people also said things about tough mentors, or there is a phrase in nursing where they say nurses eat their young. Some mentors can be very difficult and unsupportive, and some do make life difficult for the students. So the students say, I can't do this. So these things do happen, and some reasons are the fact that not enough bursaries. Post-qualification, it is actually difficult to retain staff in the NHS for several reasons, and some of the reasons are some people decide, you know what, the salary is not good enough here. I want to go to another country, just as some of us move from our country to here. Some people leave and go to other countries from the UK. They go to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and United States of America. Some people leave because they feel there is no flexibility in nursing. And when you're entering nursing, you have to be aware that there is not much flexibility. You might not spend Christmas with your family and things like that. Some people feel the pay after graduation. We talked about that already. Some people retire anyway because they've reached their retirement age and they have to retire. And so these things do create more gaps. People leave the profession due to burnout. Some people report there is no work-life balance, and also increasing workload due to shortage of staff. So due to all these reasons, yes, the government is putting out or laying out its own plan to encourage and recruit more and increase training places for nurses and all that. We have issues about people starting the nursing degrees and they decide to stop because of various reasons. People manage to complete and they decide to retire, to leave and go to other places. Some people are deciding, I don't think nursing is for me, and they go into engineering or computing, because some people finish computing courses and they get great jobs with great salaries. So if you are an overseas nurse, wherever you are, or you are a trainee nurse and you're planning that your dream is to have an experience of working abroad, for example in the UK, and you have seen this headlines and you're worried, I think you shouldn't be worried. Do your research, complete your training, follow the process. I think UK would still need foreign trained nurses for a while. Yes, there may be a time in the future where they might pause again and start all over again. So I think it's up to you as to what you want to do. If it is your will and your wish to come and work in the UK, why not? It's a good place to work. It's difficult, but some of us have done it and you can also do it. So anyway, take care of yourselves and I shall see you again in another video very soon. Bye-bye.